we might be doing the thing. Yeah, go. We'll see if you can hear the audio clear in there. Testing, testing, testing. Wow, we have made it happen.
That was wild. I was still in it, like.
We have made it happen, ladies and gentlemen. They're playing the Sweden national anthem. We are in Brett's sunroom, bringing you the best coverage you could hope for in the 2023 Women's World Cup.
All right. So, I woke up early for these Olympic Games with a 2-week-old baby, and that was a bad mistake because we look like shit. And we're looking like shit again this tournament. So, but here we are. Have we posted a starting lineup yet? Okay.
For those of you watching at home, we've just got the one mic set up. That's going to be interesting. And we don't even have proper handheld mics, just my normal tabletop mic with the bottom. Oh, here we go. The national anthem. Brett has taken his hat off, but I am seated, as we both are, to let you know we are patriots, but do still have some improvements we'd like to see in this country.
Lindsey Rand is one of the first American athletes I've seen actually sing it. You know, like you always have like the South American soccer teams are just like belting it out, and like the Italians are like belting it out, their anthem. The Americans are never singing.
I saw the England women. They got tripped up. I guess it was it God Save the Queen,
Yeah.
but she's dead now, so there's a king. And so they had a lyric change.
Oh, and they were still saying Queen?
They were still singing Queen, so but I think they got it corrected. I don't know.
All right. I would like to see a starting. We've got internet. We don't have to rely on the TV.
That's true. We do have the internet, and that's a blessing. Oh man, I can't believe that I was able to wake up. I'm very proud of me.
Yeah. I was having some weird dreams, man.
Maybe we'll get into that at halftime. I'm wondering what this is going to look like. I know we watched a lot of Sweden highlights last night to prepare for this. And the Swedish women, incredibly tall and incredibly good at using their head to put the ball in the goal, especially off of set pieces, corner kicks, which I thought were just, they felt like Hail Marys. Anytime I watch soccer, a corner kick feels like, okay, well, good luck, everybody.
Yeah. Sweden is. We run into them a lot in these tournaments. We've had like a rivalry with them for years. They're always very, very well disciplined, very solid defensively, and then, like you said, they score a lot of corners because they're so tall. So basically, a very ideal kind of team to win these World Cup tournaments and international tournaments. Because as we've talked about before, when I've been on to talk about soccer, here we go. Okay, these international teams, they don't. It's not like a club team where you practice with your same team week in, week out, and you can really implement complex systems. Your international team is just more simple soccer, and the knockout stages of a tournament, that combined with how defensive teams get because they don't want to get knocked out. You don't want to give up a goal. A ton of goals come off of corners and set pieces. So that Sweden is tough. Okay, Julie Ertz is still in the back line. I don't like that. Trinity Rodman back in the starting lineup. That's interesting. And Morgan up top, of course. So
Also, I just noticed Vlatko is still the coach. How does that make you feel?
Not good. So we'll get into that shortly, I'm sure. But it's just a team of individuals. There's no real game plan, and you don't score goals that way at this level. Despite having a ton of talent, the goals aren't coming. But Rose Lavelle, who our best attacking midfielder for sure, she is out from yellow card accumulation. If you get 2 yellows at any point, you don't have to get them in the same game. If you get 2 yellows, you have to sit out the next game, and she did that. So she's out. That hurts a ton. And like I said, Julie Ertz, even though she's the best defensive midfielder in the world, Vlatko still has her back at center back, which I think hurts.
They have just kicked off 52 degrees Fahrenheit there. That looks like a typo. Wow.
Can we set that?
Yes.
I've got coffee made sitting in the freezer, so we can have iced coffee shortly.
This is great news. We're getting iced coffee.
And then we can have mimosas for the second half.
And we might need them.
So here's Sophie Smith on the ball. Okay, this is good stuff. We're a little bit of a counterattack here. So that was kind of encouraging. We were on a little bit of a counterattack there. Morgan had basically a 2-on-2 with her and Trinity Rodman. I think that is over there. That is probably, given how I talked about we can't break teams down, we don't have much of an offensive identity, our goals are probably going to have to come with something like that. Just a counterattack. They don't have a lot of defenders back. It's just a fast break, basically. And Sweden doesn't typically allow that kind of stuff to happen. So we'll see how many more of those we get.
And Alex Morgan had the ball at the end there, headed towards the box. Oh, Sweden almost, they got it into the box. As I said, very good with their head. But Alex Morgan she's had a little bit of trouble scoring this tournament. What do you think is behind that? Or is that just the whole team has had trouble scoring?
It's that. I mean, I don't have any blame toward Alex Morgan. I mean, our best single offensive moment of the tournament has been her. It was Sophie Smith's goal, but Alex Morgan, the first goal we scored of the whole tournament against Vietnam, Alex had a beautiful flick on. It rolled the ball right into Sophie Smith's paths for her to have an easy goal. So, yeah, I mean, it goes back to the talent at every position. Certainly up top is there. We just have to rely on these individual brilliant moments that, when you face good teams, don't come all that often. Sweden has actually had more of the possession so far. Which, honestly, I'm fine with, because I don't trust us to break a team down when we have the ball. So in order to have those counterattacks like I was talking about, the other team has to have the ball and lose it. So I'm fine with I'm fine with them taking the lion's share of possession, honestly.
How does our best scoring chances coming off the counterattack compare to previous World Cup teams?
So in 2015, yeah, Sweden with a poor cross there. Uh, in 2015, we didn't like demand possession, like we didn't dominate possession every game and stuff. Uh, and we played more of a style like where we relied on our speed and our power, more direct. But in 2019, we were. I'm not sure exactly what the possession stats were, but like I feel like we possessed the ball a lot more, controlled the games a lot more, and now it seems like we've not by choice, because we're not as good. We've reverted back to not possessing the ball as much. Like Netherlands, uh, the vast majority of that game dominated, like every aspect of the game, possession included. And that's just the thing where, the great teams here. We might have a little something in transition here. Haran gets blocked. I like Haran a lot. I mean, I like all of our players, but they just got to play together as a unit. But yeah, the elite teams are going to possess the ball, not give you a chance to score because they have the ball, and then they're going to be good enough with like intricate passing and a lot of passing, and they'll break you down. Even if you've got your whole team behind the ball playing defense, they'll break you down. Okay, Rodman. Hit it. That was our best opportunity so far. That was encouraging. But yeah, and she's on side. Yeah, so but there's very few teams in the world that can really play like that, because you imagine when 10 people are behind the ball defending, it's tough to break them down. So like the easiest way to score is, like I said, get in other team turns the ball over, you get in transition, get a fast break kind of opportunity. So I mean, I'm confident that's how we're going to score, unless it's off a corner or something.
Is playing that style, does that lead to like an increased risk of giving up more goals?
If you like are counterattacking super hard, then you can get your countered. So yeah, in that way, I guess. But you also are playing like more defensively sound too, because you're sitting back waiting on the other team to turn the ball over. So not necessarily. And as much as we've talked about how bad the offense is, we have been, like they just said in the pregame, the best defensive team in the tournament. We've only allowed the one goal to the Netherlands, and we've only allowed what they say, 2 corners all tournament. I mean, that's crazy.
Which is wild too, because I feel like our defense was one of the bigger question marks heading into the tournament.
Yeah, because we lost both of our center backs from the 2019 run. Dahlkemper retired and Becky Sauer. So Sweden's got something down the flank here. That's great recovery by Crystal Dunn. That's going to be important, is just preventing those crosses from coming in the first place.
Because that seems to be what they want to do and how they want to attack so far, and it kind of, to me, the uninformed fan, mimics the corner kick set piece that they love.
Yeah, just standard classic soccer. Get the ball down the wing, cross it into your big tall players in the box.
4 of their 9 goals in the group stage were off of corner kicks.
I thought you was just pulling that shit out. It's on the screen. And here's the first corner. And Listen There gets a hand to it. I guess you got to say good goalkeeping, but that was shaky. She barely got there. So, good job by Sweden to cut that counter off. Trinity was about to be off there. But yeah, that should be a yellow. So, yeah, so Alyssa Nair, she had a moment against Portugal. So the keeper, sometimes they'll come out and instead of relying on their defenders to head a cross away, they'll come out and punch it themselves or come out and catch it even. But they gotta, if you do that, you gotta damn well know you're getting there. Because if you come out and miss that shit, then the goal's open. And she had a moment against Portugal where she come out like that and she didn't even get close to touching the ball. I mean, it was just a disaster. So she concerns me for sure. But our defense is so good, she rarely has to actually make any saves.
I feel like this is the first time in my lifetime where I'm not super familiar with our goalkeeper.
Yeah. I mean, Hope Solo was a superstar.
And was it Brianna Scurry before
Yeah,
Hope?
that's right. But yeah, our keepers, we've kind of gotten to the point where, like I said, the keepers don't have to do a whole lot. But, even factoring that in, my understanding is that she's not very good. Even in NWSL, she hasn't had a very good year. I guess she retains the job because she was the keeper, last cycle when we won. But, I understand that for a club team, she's been shaky, and I've seen her this tournament look shaky. That's a good.
So throw-ins seem incredibly. They don't seem super important to me as just watching,
No.
but everyone seems very concerned about making the perfect throw-in.
Yeah.
And it's always funny just watching them. They're super try-hard face on, looking for someone open to throw it in. When I feel like if you just threw it in quickly.
Yeah. That would be my thinking too. Just get it in to whoever's the most open. They'll do those. Okay, here's another.
Oh.
So this is good. This is how we got to play. Quick transitions. So Morgan's on the ball. So, all right, now we're gonna possess the ball a little bit. See what we can do here. But yeah, that was a good moment. I like that. So it's pretty obvious when we get a turnover, we're playing it directly to Alex Morgan. And she's our striker, but she's one of those strikers that's very, very good with the ball at her feet. She's not just a goal scorer. She can facilitate, make passes. And that seems to be the game plan. So maybe we do have a game plan. But yeah, every time we've turned it over, every time we've turned them over, the balls went directly to Alex Morgan, and she's turning to try to make a deadly pass. So that's not the most high level of tactics, but
It is a tactic,
yeah.
Which is something new.
Yeah, that's another reason I love Alex Morgan is she's, like I said, she's very well balanced. She's not just a goal scorer. She's perhaps at her best doing stuff like that. Okay, Morton flips it back to Smith. So now Sweden's back defensively, but that was another. kind of a little bit of a moment of transition. So yeah, in the 15th minute here, no team's really had a real chance at goal yet. But we've had a couple moments where it looked like something might come out of it, and I don't think Sweden's really had a moment where I've been threatened yet. So far so good.
They just showed a stat not too long ago that we have the most goals in the first 15 minutes of World Cup matches of all the teams to have played.
That's interesting. Crystal Dunn seemed to be open there. I want to see Lindsay Horan start touching the ball more. She's so good at just controlling the tempo of the game, making the right pass. Here she is on the ball.
Outside of Haran, who have you been impressed with so far? Even though we haven't performed.
Yeah. I think Megan Rapinoe has been an excellent leader.
They just showed her on the bench. I wasn't dancing. I didn't recognize her.
I know. Yeah, before the game, she seemed very serious as well.
Weird.
I don't know. I guess Morgan. I mean, she's the only other player that's really consistently touched the ball. Sophie Smith has been dropping back pretty deep defensively. So I guess that's good. Good for her to do that. That's like how Messi doesn't play any defense. Like when your wingers are willing to drop back and play defensively, that's like, thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. All right, here's Smith on the ball. Quick pass to Haran. So Haran turns out to Rodman. Okay, so nothing. So that's more like what we're used to. Just not a lot going on there. So now we're in possession, and
there's no hope it would be.
Yeah, they're just
At what point do you purposely turn the ball over?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all right, nice move by Gurma. Take some space, but then there's nobody to play the ball to. And see, like right there, like Sophie Smith's receiving the ball with her back to goal. Ideally, oh no, that was Crystal Dunn, wasn't it? Okay. Well, that's really weird. But anyway.
That's the first time in the history of the world. Like, that's racial equality. You just confused Sophie Smith for Crystal Dunn.
Rodman. Woo! Okay, a moment of pure individuality, but it almost worked. So, and Rodman she's scored plenty of goals like this. I mean, she's got a great shot on her. I like her starting. I'm glad she's back in the starting lineup because, like I say, she gives you those moments of individual brilliance, and that's what the team relies on. So you might as well have those kind of players out there.
That was a laser. I feel like I watch soccer and we'll see someone get a chance like that and send it into the stands more often than not.
So one of the things a tactical thing we get criticized a lot for is Alex Morgan is willing to do a lot of pressing. All right, here's a chance for Sweden. I'm glad she turned back. I'm not sure why she did that, but yeah, Sweden had a person wide open in the box, and they kind of received the pass and cut back instead of just shooting it. I'm not sure why.
I don't know if they can shoot without using their head.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that was the first nervy moment there, and a shot on goal didn't even happen, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so Alex Morgan, when the other team has possession, playing it with their, just starting their attack, their way back, when playing the ball with their center backs, Alex Morgan is very willing to press. Like, she's in very good shape. She'll run a lot. She'll try to press those center backs. But if no one else is pressing, then it does you no good whatsoever, because there's always going to be someone to easily just pass the ball to. It does look like we've got other people that are trying to press. Lindsey Horan's like coming way up and almost acting as a second striker when they have the ball. So maybe we've got some kind of plan there as well.
Corner for Sweden.
Yeah.
This is the first game ever I've been afraid of corners.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen us give up a goal on a corner, like the entire time I've been watching U.S. women's soccer. We've always been very good defensively. Julie Ertz, fantastic in the air. Lindsey Horan's fantastic in the air. So they're not going to just be bigger than us and stronger like they have been against these other teams. Woo! So they went for an Olympico. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but when you kick it in straight off a corner, that's called an Olympico. And there has been one Olympico in the World Cup thus far. Ireland scored it. And that would have been one, but Nair saved it. So nice job by her. Now can we see? And I guess I'm being a little hypocritical. Like, we made no effort to play out of the back there. So the modern soccer is you rely on your center backs and your keeper to, in addition to being good defensively, also be good ball handlers and pass the ball. And you can, like, a long classic soccer would be you do what she just did. If you're in any danger, just hoof it forward, and just let them have the ball back, but reset defensively. Modern soccer is, everybody's good with the ball at their feet. Just because it's in our own box, we're not just going to kick it long. We're going to play out of this. And we make no effort to do that. So, like, I'm hypocritical because I am happy that we are playing a more direct style, but I also feel like a team as good as us should be able to play out of the back too. So. Another set piece from Sweden, well dealt with.
Most shots on goal off of set pieces in the tournament, Sweden.
Yep.
Not a shock if you watch the highlights like we did on YouTube last night.
Yeah.
They just mentioned Rodman's been grabbing at her hip so far tonight. Have you ever fallen on your hip and had it bruise or swell up? So I did that my junior year of high school basketball, and it was noticeably, one side was noticeably more swollen than the other. And it was one of the more painful injuries because you just kept falling on it. I had to wear those. Dwayne Wade had the hex pad shorts with
Yeah.
the pads
Oh
inside
yeah.
because it was terrible. I didn't think it would ever go back to normal, and you could feel, I guess, like the swollen bursa sac or something in there, and it was just terrible. It was gross.
Swollen bursa sac. Huh.
I think the bursa. See, you get all kind of knowledge here. I swear to God. I think it helps with the fluidity of the motion. Like the bursa fluid helps keep everything lubricated. Don't hold me to that. Oh God. Speaking of lubricated, the field seems very slick.
They, I've seen players slip and fall nonstop. I don't know what it is.
Swollen bursa sac under the field.
All right, here we go. Okay. So we're going to see if we can play out of the back here. Let's see how this goes. So Gurma's on the ball. She's been really good. Not there necessarily, but so we talked about the center backs from our last tournament being out. So Naomi Gurma's the new player coming in. Julie Ertz was a defensive midfielder, and they've just moved her back. In 2015, she was a center back. 2019, best defensive midfielder in the world. They moved her back to center back. But Naomi Gurma is the new face entirely back there. And she has been very, very, very good. I like her a lot. Yeah, Rose. They just mentioned Rose Lavelle being out. That hurts a lot because she is very, very good. Yeah, we're just, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not complaining, but we're very clearly trying to play direct. And, we need moments like this. Rodman. Sophie Smith takes the, okay.
Okay.
That's our best chance so far of the game, and it was pure individuality by Trinity Rodman.
She is incredible.
She is. Here's a comp for you. She reminds me of Kylian Mbappe, in that she, clearly very good, very fast, very good dribbler, very good with the shot, and she's aggressive. Like, she's not dribbling around, dribbling the air out of the ball type of shit. She's fucking going. She's one move, beating her defender, putting a shot on goal. Very efficient, very ruthless.
I like that comp because those are probably my two favorite players to watch.
Yeah. So that's like Mbappe's just always had that in him, and that's what makes him great. Like, you see a lot of young soccer players that they're clearly super talented. Sophie Smith cutting it slips. But they just, like I say, they dribble the air out of the ball. They do just nice give and go. Rodman shoots with her left foot. Okay. The game's going through Trinity Rodman now. So that's a good move there. Give it to her hand, go. You see that just takes the defender out of it. That's classic soccer, but that's the kind of shit that we've not done, because it's just teammates working together.
And like you mentioned, she did not mess around. Like, she got the pass back and immediately tries to put it on goal.
Yeah.
Apparently this match is on Fox is sponsored by Geico because it keeps popping up. I believe it was the last writer's strike led to the short-lived sitcom about the Geico's cavemen from the commercial.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, people saw the commercial and were like, we don't have a lot of writers, we need material, let's see if we can make a sitcom about the Geico's cavemen, and they're dead. But anyway, here we go. Sophie Smith.
Yeah, so that was that. Okay, Sophie still got the ball. Okay, I mean, we're looking dangerous. Okay, good. Oh, shit. Now Sweden's in transition. Crystal Dunn got the pace to run her down, but vacated her. I mean, she had to, no criticism. But now, ball into the most nervy moment of the game for the U.S. Sweden had a wide open path on the flank, took it, played in a beautiful cross, uncontested cross there, so it was very accurate. And thankfully, Julie Ertz with some emergency defending there, sliding in to block the final shot. So that's what we talked about earlier, the getting your counterattack countered. That kind of happened right there. So
30th minute of the first half.
yeah, should we be doing timestamps when things happen?
I don't know. As long as we don't make a sitcom about the Geico caveman, I think we're okay.
Well, this game's been pretty entertaining. Like in the knockout stages of tournaments, like I mentioned earlier, they often get very defensive. Morgan with the flick on, like we talked about, and didn't quite come off. But I see some paths to scoring here for us. I'm encouraged. Trinity Rodman looks like she's got a goal in her. Morgan's been good with hold-up play, facilitating the ball. Sophie Smith's had a few moments. So, yeah, I definitely see a goal coming for us. More so than Sweden. The last 10 minutes, we've dominated possession. There we go. Create a turnover in the offensive half. See if Haran can. Yep. Nice job by Haran to keep possession. All right, we're going to reset. So here we are in possession. Let's see what we choose to do. This is like one of the first times we've really settled and slowed things down. Which is usually where things start getting frustrating because we never really create anything out of these moments. But
I would say that's kind of what's going on here.
yeah. All right, Sophie Smith dropped to the midfield. So I like this. I like the way they'll stop a offensive movement by us, but we get the ball back immediately. Like one of the defensive midfielders or center backs is immediately stepping up to keep the ball. That's just keeping the pressure on them, just keeping the foot on the throat. I like that. And we've got our first corner, I think. So looking good. We look like the better team. No question about it.
Yeah, and I think one thing, too, that's interesting about soccer is this happens in all sports, but how quickly that can change as well. And it matters so much more because it's hard to score goals, especially when you get to the knockout stage, it would seem.
Yeah.
But you're right. So far, I'm impressed. We do seem to want it a lot right now.
Yes. Haran! Woo! Off the crossbar. Okay. So who's the corner maestros here?
That was very Nordic of her. They should have a want it meter on the screen. All right, Rapinoe. That one got Rapinoe off the bench. but no,
No
dancing.
Yeah.
Very important. 34th minute, no dancing from Megan Rapinoe.
Did you see the Haran's goal against the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the build up to it, like how that?
No.
So, Netherlands has a player that's one of those get under your skin type, just foul you and just fuck around with you, that kind of shit, just annoy you to death kind of player. And her and Haran are actually, they play on the same club team and they're like really close friends. But anyway, during that game they were at it, and Haran's yelling at her. So there was a corner where like they kept having to delay the corner because there kept being too much, rough housing in the box, that kind of shit. And Haran was just furious, just yelling at this girl because that girl was just, doing little shit like that, shoving her around. And Haran, you read her lips, yelled out, "Shut your fucking mouth" to her. And then the announcer's like, "Well, the best way to settle this for Haran is to score right here," and boom, like immediately, just scores a beautiful header.
That's got to be such a great feeling.
Yeah.
That's like hitting a home run after you get into it with the worst Madison Bumgarner.
Yep. Yeah, those moments rarely actually happen. All right, let's see if we get some nice, quick passing. Haran. She's so good on the ball. She's gonna do the right thing. This is the most like intricate passing maybe I've seen all tournament, honestly. And we switched fucking play. Holy shit, I haven't seen that. That's an obvious thing to do when you have possession on one side and they kind of filter in switch play, and then you've got an advantage if you play quickly enough on that side. And we've done like none of that. We do none of the classic, like, a give and go like we saw earlier, switch a play. So we're starting to see at least some sign of life in those offensive moments when we've got possession and you've got to play through the team. Those are the kind of things you got to do.
Because I feel like so far this tournament the ball is kind of stuck. There hadn't been a lot of passing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun to see how many basic principles there are in common across all sports.
Yeah.
Because playing basketball, that was the thing. We'd always get yelled at, like, you're easy to defend if you're not passing the ball. Now, that did not motivate me to pass the ball. But it was, I appreciated the sentiment.
Ooh. Okay, so Sophie Smith drops down, Dunn overlaps, and Trinity Rodman wide open. Oh! Okay, so more good transition play there. Trinity Rodman in a ton of space. Great ball by Sophie Smith. And then look, and again, Trinity Rodman not fucking around. One touch pass, just a little bit behind Haran, but more encouraging stuff here. Playing the short corner. I like it. I mean, that's, a little bit of creativity there. If the game would slow down any, I'd go get our coffee, but it's been a lot of action. All right.
We're about to get our coffee. We've been doing this uncaffeinated so far. Incredible performance by us. That was an offside on the U.S. on that last attack. 39th minute. Bless me. U.S. playing it out of their own end, just kind of hanging back. U.S. women have had the ball 57% of the time to 28% for Sweden. Okay, the ball just went out, but the ref didn't call it out forever. And all refs, much like there are common principles across sports, one of those common principles is that all referees are idiots. Thank you.
There you go, baby.
Some nice iced coffee.
Very sad moment. Allison, I go in and Allison asks what I'm doing, and I say I'm getting our coffee, and she said thanks. I was like, no. Mine is
I'm liking all of the translations for McDonald's
Yeah.
on the screen on the field. So we've done a really good job doing it. Like, for 41st minute, we first get caffeine.
Yeah, yeah. We are clearly the better team here. But like, is that Julie Foudy? Is the color person? No, that's not her. Who is that?
I have no idea.
I recognize her voice. But she said we need to get a goal before half. Like, we've had so many good chances, we've got so much momentum. It'd kind of be a shame to go into. Ooh. Yeah. Another. All right, Sophie Smith retained possession. All right, get back at it. Okay. Yeah, Morgan got a touch to the ball there, and it was just panic mode for Sweden. Ball sitting in the box, but we couldn't get anybody to clean that up. That's fine.
I don't know how they don't tear their ACLs even more.
Yeah.
I was at,
Irma is just. She is so fucking good, dude. That's a great pass by her under pressure. Yeah, she's becoming one of my favorite players for sure. Especially Rose Lavelle, who is my normal favorite player. She's out, and Mallory Swanson, who is my other favorite player. She unfortunately has torn her patellar tendon, and she is out as well. But Germa is. She's just very, very impressive. Reminds me of Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, for our Premier League fans. Just very solid defensively, but also very smooth in possession. Woo!
my God, Trinity Rodman. Jesus.
Damn, what a moment. Oh. She's just ready to go back to bed. What, man, Trinity, what a move. Tightrope walking the sideline there. Reaching back and smacking the defender in the face, too. Good stuff. Did you see her hit her?
No.
I didn't either.
But I do think I saw it, when they showed the close up, it did look like her lip was bleeding. So speaking of torn patellar tendons, torn ACLs, I did not know. Apparently, women's soccer cleats are not a thing. They only make men's soccer cleats, and you would just have to buy your size in men's, which
Really?
yeah, yes, I was just because I was listening to something about, I think Jackie J on TikTok. I think if you're on TikTok, the lack of investment in women's soccer so far across the globe, and how that's one of the ways, the lack of a women's soccer cleat or soccer boot or whatever you would like to call it, which would make a big difference because of just the physiological differences.
Yeah.
Women are already more prone to ACL tears, and so if you have a shoe, you would think you would just make a shoe that would help lower that risk, but they don't even have women's cleats.
That's really, yeah. I mean, soccer is the sport of all like women's sports. That's probably the one most women play in the world, right? Wouldn't you think?
It seems
Most
like an
people play in the world. So I think
yes, it seems like it would be like not only the right thing to do, but good for business. And yet here we are.
that's bizarre. You know, when we mentioned people falling nonstop this tournament, slipping and falling, that's common. And when this happens in college football games and stuff, they blame it on the cleats. You know, and I assume that's right. And they'll change out the kind of cleat they're using and all that shit. I've not heard that brought up at this tournament. Maybe that's because they don't have. They're lucky enough to get cleats. Period.
Yes, like that was just so mind-blowing to me because I've never personally had to worry about that. That's how bias is developed.
Yeah.
But the fact that like this is the World Cup and they can't even get their own
Yeah,
cleats.
make them for them. Like, you know, at least like custom make them. Maybe they don't do that either.
They
Like Alex
might.
Morgan's out here in men's shoes.
They might. I bet it has some. I bet if they have like a shoe deal with a brand, they get some
They
custom
get-
stuff.
okay. Yeah, I agree. It would be disappointing not to have a goal going into halftime. Because what's going to happen at halftime? Sweden's coach is going to make adjustments, and I don't think our coach is going to be making any good decisions here to counteract that. So we may have seen the best soccer we're going to see, and it has been great, but we don't get the goal. So, you know, that's disappointing, but great first half. This is the best soccer I've seen us play in a long, long time.
Yeah, that was very fluid, crisp passing. Just didn't put it in the goal, but that appears to be pretty hard to do.
Yeah. Trinity Rodman, best player of the first half. Yeah, I mean, we're very encouraged, but this second half could just flip on its head entirely because this is where the adjustments get made.
It is winter in Australia.
Yep.
That is very weird to me.
Yeah, the first game I watched, it was like 40 degrees.
Do you know how hard? Like that would kill me to be outside running. If I have to run outside and it's below, like I think I figured out this year, 74. I can't do it. My ears hurt.
Interesting.
And I also want to die. I'd much rather run in extreme heat.
That's very interesting. Because I hate the cold. With all my heart, I hate the cold. I would rather, in all circumstances, I would rather be hot. But running, I think I'd rather be in the cold. Because running in the heat's pretty brutal. These are all hypotheticals I'm talking in because I don't run.
I remember you did try to run at one point not too long ago.
Yeah.
It just didn't go well.
I just don't like it. I just don't like doing it, and I'm an adult in America. I don't have to do shit I don't want to do that much, you know.
That's a great point. A Sophie Smith commercial. This is good.
Yeah, she's really been like billed as like the next up and coming superstar because she's just been fantastic in NWSL. And yeah, here's Rapinoe's commercial.
Yeah, what a timely commercial for Rapinoe to come on after Smith.
Yeah. So I wonder if Mal Swanson had not gotten hurt, if she would have been the ones getting all the credit card commercials and shit. You know, I'm curious. Because to me, she was going to be the next up and coming great player. Like, Sophie has been better for her club team and all that. But, like, Swanson was doing the best for us. Like the She Believes Cup earlier this year, she single-handedly won that tournament for us. So that she was the player I was most excited to see.
And what was the injury she had?
Torn patellar tendon.
That is not good. That is, speaking from experience, tendons, you tear those. Those are hard to come back from. So hopefully she is able to do so without us noticing.
Tendons connect muscle to bone. Is that right?
I believe so.
And ligaments do what? Bone to bone? Ain't there three of them?
I'm going to Google.
Does something connect muscle to muscle, or is it just that's just muscle? That's just more muscle.
It's just more muscle like I have right now. While I'm Googling medical facts, we could just ask your wife, who specializes in such a thing, but I don't know. She's not caffeinated, as we reported earlier.
Fucking more muscle.
Yes!
We nailed it. That was exactly right. Everything I said was spot on. Fuck yeah.
So if you didn't hear, Brett was 1,000% correct on how the human body works. This is great news. You were also pretty spot on in the soccer preview about what was going to go wrong for us if something did go wrong.
Yeah.
To the point where you couldn't even mention Jill Ellis's name in the same sentence as Vlatko's.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've watched any U.S. soccer under Vlatko, like, this was very obviously what was going to happen. What is a surprise is how good we've looked this game. But yeah, I mean, the issues we thought we would see have, you know, in the group stage fully come to roost. I also am proud of, I talked about how much parity there was going to be this World Cup. I didn't even give it nearly enough credit. Like, the teams that I thought were going to be the ones challenging us and providing that parity, they've gotten eliminated. That's how much parity there is. Like, Morocco has made it to the knockout stage. That's just an amazing story. Jamaica has made it to the knockout stage. So those are two teams they're not necessarily going to be fun to watch because they're going to be just, you know, lesser talent. They're going to be playing super defensively, but those are some feel-good Cinderella underdog teams that you can feel good to pull for.
And when I think of like upsets, typically my mind goes to March Madness. But this is different than that because it's not just you're winning one match and there you go, an upset to make it to the knockout stage. Like, you have to perform over the 3 matches.
Yeah. Yeah, and now at this point we're in the March Madness, kind of phase of it. But yeah, Jamaica, they just have no funding for that team. Like players' moms were setting up GoFundmes to raise money, uh, just for different things for the team. But they obviously did enough to advance, and they do. I do want to say they have Bunny Shaw at striker, who is a world class elite striker. Hasn't scored a goal yet. Was out the middle game because she got 2 red cards the first game, but she's gonna provide some entertaining moments for you. So Jamaica's definitely a must watch. And then Morocco, that federation just decided we're going to give this women's soccer thing a try. We're going to put some money into it. We're going to create a domestic league. So they, created their women's soccer league over there very recently, and it has just immediately paid off. So that's the biggest story from this World Cup to me is if you invest in women's soccer, it can pay off. You can get rewards quickly. So I hope that encourages more countries to do it. And yeah, I had another point I was going to say there.
Well, it's ridiculous because I think the story is the Jamaican women, they had to start a GoFundMe to get to the World Cup. And it's not like they're in AAU basketball team trying to go to a tournament. Yeah. This is the World Cup.
Yeah.
And so many people talk about, women's sports are inferior, this, that, and the other. Let's suspend disbelief. Let's go to this imaginary world. Could it just be that instead of women's sports being worse, women's sports just aren't funded to the level of men's sports?
Yeah. I mean, the Women's World Cup is just a great event. It's great sports, period. There's not a whole lot else to say about it.
How many, and the timing was different, but how many men's World Cup games would you imagine in my lifetime that I've woken up at 4 a.m. to watch?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think when I have.
And that final was great. Probably the best sporting event I've ever seen was the Men's World Cup final.
No question about it.
But I would not do that because I prefer the women's soccer game, like we've talked about in the preview. There's almost no flopping. It's much more physical. I just prefer it. And they have to do all this wild shit just to get to a tournament where they can't even wear women's shoes.
Yeah. So the point I was going to make, they expanded the World Cup this cycle. It's now a 32-team World Cup, which is what the men's is. It was 24 previously. When they first announced that, there was a lot of thought we're doing this too soon. There's not yet 32 good women's teams, so we're going to see a ton of 15-0 top blowout games. That has not happened. And what it has done, when you make the field bigger, that lets the world know, hey, you've got a better chance to make it. So that incentivizes you more to invest, So I think I was even a little critical of it when I first heard about it, but it's turned out to be the right decision for sure.
So what do you think this means for the future of U.S. women's soccer, where we've been the country that has invested the most in it previous to this cycle, but now you're seeing these other countries who have a better soccer infrastructure than we have. Now they're getting into the game.
Yeah. So how you'll look at a college football team's history, and they're they won 8 national titles in a row from 1930 to 1940, and it's well, who really cares, That I wonder if one day we'll look back on U.S. soccer like that, yeah, y'all, who cares that you won 4 of the first 6 tournament, whatever it is. It's like nobody else gave a shit about it. Like when we're old and gray and the whole world cares about women's soccer, like, will we still be good? I don't know. Like, I mean, we really were one of the few teams that invested in this shit, and now the world is catching up to us.
Speaking of that, we're going to be doing the college football preview pretty soon. One of the facts I saw looking up about Georgia and can Georgia three-peat, do you know the last team to three-peat in college football?
So yeah, Bama's won 2 in a row, I think, under Saban, or have they even? I know they haven't won 3.
This would be a more impressive poll than your tendon ligament conversation.
Last team to three-peat. I mean, it's got to be like what I just said, like from the World War II and shit era. Let's see. I don't know, Oklahoma.
1934 through 36, Minnesota.
Minnesota? Huh. That's crazy.
The Golden Gophers. That might be a good nickname to look up, too.
Oh, yeah, that ain't bad. Damn, that's crazy. But, yeah, South Carolina baseball, I worry about that a little bit because college baseball is getting a lot bigger. Everybody in the SEC is building new stadiums now. We were never like a dominant national powerhouse necessarily team, but we've always been like top 10 in the country. And now, other people are building the nice stadiums and other people are putting money in it, and it's harder to win. It makes the product better, but I guess that's a good question. Like, would you rather? I think I'm happy that the world's women's soccer is getting bigger. I would rather the product be better and us win fewer World Cups, but feel more accomplished when we did win it.
Completely agree, because we've seen this happen with men's basketball, where we had our amateurs against the rest of the world, and then we started losing. So it was like, okay,
yeah.
We will bring out the Space Jam Monstars and the original Dream Team, and that worked for a couple cycles, but that 92 Dream Team made other nations like, oh, shit, we need to do something and catch up, and it inspired people to start playing this, that, and the other. And now we're not blowing teams out by 50 anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, there are tough games. We have to consider kind of like what the women's national team is doing now, where as the second half starts, we could just bring together individual talent and dominate that way. And now we have to consider roles and bringing on role players and playing as a team and a cohesive unit. So I'm with you. I'd rather it mean more when you did win than just to not have the investment at all. But we're going to see. I am very concerned because we do need to change our entire U.S. soccer system.
Yeah. Yeah, Zlatan was talking about that the other day because I guess he lives in America now, and he was like, it costs $3,000 for my kid to play soccer, which is fine with me. I've got it, obviously, but that's crazy.
It makes no sense because, you need, in theory, one of the cheapest sports to play.
Yeah.
Shoes and a ball.
Yeah. Shoes. Yeah. But so I'm not gonna I'm a realist. I'm not ever gonna make these please do the right thing type arguments. Selfishly, it benefits you to let more kids play soccer because that's what helps us win. I'm not saying let kids play soccer because everybody deserves a chance. Find it in your heart. Let's let everybody play so we get the best players so we can dominate other countries' asses. That's what I want to do.
And that's what's going on in all of our sports really is it's so expensive to play that you're getting the best and the brightest of the wealthy families,
Yeah.
and these other countries are whipping our asses.
Yeah. That's definitely the case in baseball, which is a more expensive sport to play naturally, but still, you know. Uh, but yeah, that and going back to what I was talking about earlier, with other countries starting to invest more in women's soccer, like, you know, say let's just take Morocco. I know, you know, they have a conservative culture. You know, a lot of the women have talked about how like their parents didn't want them to play soccer with the boys and stuff like that. But like, even if you don't, if you're like the Moroccan Soccer Federation or whatever, even if you don't really care about women's soccer, like, it behooves you to invest in it, because you just got to do some modicum of effort, and you already make the knockout stages of the World Cup. You know, like, that was an interesting idea there by Sophie Smith. That's called a dummy, where you act like you're going to receive the pass and then don't, and it fucks the defense up, and someone behind you ideally is waiting to get the ball. There was absolutely nobody behind her. Anyway,
Which would then make her feel like a
dummy.
I'm obviously with the subject matter that I talk about. I'm also curious to see how like women succeeding in sports in these countries that are typically very oppressive towards women, how that would change society's view of women.
That's interesting.
That could just be me being like an optimist and this, that, and the other. But if I have hope, if I don't have hope, then what do I have? That's been how I've handled Gamecock football.
Yeah. I truly believe sports is like, and I just got through saying I'm not a pine. Oh, more tightrope walking. Sophie Smith on the run here. And a lot of her passes have been behind. That's tough. That was going to be a good moment if that ball could have been out in front of her hand, because she was going to have a lot of space in front of her to make a good pass. But so yeah, I think sports like really has the potential to like change society in those ways. Like, I mean, I'm from a small town in the South. I've heard all the stories like when my town desegregated and all that. That brought people together. Like, you know, I mean, you know, as racist as somebody is, like, if this black kid is helping your high school football team win, you're at least gonna like him in that moment. You know, like it brings, you know, the incentives start to align. You know,
Because I mean, look at the Olympics, the World Cup. How often do people who don't typically see eye to eye ideologically end up on the same side in those moments?
right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've heard so many stories like that of, you know, people like when my parents were in junior high and high school and stuff, like, just, you know, people coming, white and black, coming together over sports, you know.
And you would hope, obviously, that, you know, you could find more value in someone of the other race outside of just sports. But I mean, if that's the starting point,
That's the start, yeah.
then let's fucking do it.
And that, you know, the last World Cup, I guess Rapinoe did make that comment about we're not going to the fucking White House, which I thought was hilarious. So Trinity Rodman 1-on-1, okay, didn't do quite so good there, but keep getting her in those opportunities. But yeah, so there was a lot of like conservative people like saying like, oh, I'm not pulling for this team. I hope the women lose. Like, how do you claim to be patriotic and you're pulling against your own fucking like that's crazy, dude.
That was the gist of her commercial we saw too, so
Yeah.
they're probably still quite mad. Google Pixel.
Google Pixel.
I had no idea what the commercial was for until the end. but it did have a nice message.
We were talking about advertising yesterday. That's one of those like I. This is appropriate. I can't even remember the company. That's my point. There's some company that does that with all their commercials. They have these intricate storylines and all this shit. Like you remember the commercial, but then it's like, I don't even remember what you're advertising. It has nothing to do with car insurance or whatever.
Yeah, it would be very hard to make a sitcom out of that.
So Sophie Smith is dropping into the middle and receiving the ball a lot. Julie Ertz coming all the way up from her center back spot. We're really trying to put the foot on their throat and choke them out here. I like this. Keeping possession. Oh, she saved that. Oh my God. We're looking good, man.
Jesus.
So that was a period of sustained possession that we created a shot out of. Like, that's a massive amount of progress. And Lindsey Rand just hit the piss out of that ball. What a shot and what a save. That's coming through several bodies. So the keeper probably saw it late and still made the save. That's a hell of a save.
And a corner kick for us. So I'm looking for Haran again.
Yep, absolutely. Hit it. Oh, no. Oh, it worked as a pass. Okay, we switched the play. Good switch of play by Sophie Smith there. Woo! A goal has to be coming. Like it just happened. Naomi Gurma keeping possession. Ball in from Sophie. Not a good ball. So Sophie Smith's final product has been off this game for sure.
I was going to say she has not looked nearly as sharp.
Now Sweden with a counter-attacking opportunity. Right there, Julie Ertz, and maybe not, not that anything bad happened, but like I feel like Julie Ertz, if she's playing her natural midfield position, nips that shit in the bud, and we're probably going the other way again. But she nips it in the bud back there, so good for her. Okay, so good. Sweden had a little bit of a counterattack opportunity, but nothing come out of it. We remain very solid defensively. I mean, we look great. I mean, they've had one moment where it seemed like they were going to score. Yeah.
That was close.
That was a little...
Get it out. Jesus.
Okay. Just catch and practice. Here we go. Okay. All right, Lindsay dropping deep to receive the ball.
So one story of the tournament, too, has been Vlatko's substitution patterns or lack thereof. Are you expecting anyone to come on this second half, or who would you be wanting to come on? I mean, we look pretty good right now.
I know
but
that, and he got a ton of criticism against the Netherlands because you get 5 substitutions now, and he used 1, I think, that game. But the defense of that is we looked really good late in the game against the Netherlands. So maybe you didn't want to take anybody off, just you didn't want to disrupt the flow. Yeah, right now, I wouldn't make a change at all. I mean, Rose Lavelle's out. That would be, but if she wasn't out, she would be starting. So it's a moot point. But Lindsey Hearn,
that's kind of what the ball did. It just
let's get right off a throw in, lay it into her path. Yeah, Lindsey Hearn she's just so good. She's, like I talked about in the preview, she's the best central midfielder, I think, in the world in terms of like the classic center midfielder role, like controlling tempo, keeping possession, making smart passes. But she's getting up and she's getting close to scoring goals too. So I mean, she's really doing everything.
She doesn't really fuck around with the ball either.
No, she always makes the right decision. She makes the defensive play there to get possession back. Look at this. What a ugh, just a little bit too far on the pass there, but that's just right on cue. She's just looks fantastic. She breaks up play, gets the ball back for us, receives the pass perfectly to turn in, receives the pass from the outside, turns into the middle of the field with her weak foot, almost makes a perfect dime pass for the goal there. Yeah, she's awesome. Do you know like her path, like how she
No.
did not go to college.
LeBron, Kobe.
Most, most women's soccer players go, North Carolina or Stanford, shit like that, Virginia. She signed with PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, right out of high school, which is extremely rare. Oh, it's like her first fuck up I've maybe ever seen. But keeps possession. Everything's fine. Rodman dribbles by two people, puts the ball in. Almost found Morgan for the assist. She looks good too. Trinity's been our best player. Horan's maybe been our second best player.
Jesus.
This looks like a true U.S. women's national team. Like this, we're looking like we did in 2019, almost. Like we look that good. I don't really want to see Rapinoe come on.
Well, she's warming up to dance, maybe.
Yeah, I hope she's just got bored. That's why she's not running.
You would never get bored and start running, would you?
Because like if Rapinoe comes on, she's going to be coming on for a winger. I hope to God it's not Trinity Rodman. You can't take her off. I guess Sophie Smith, maybe.
Since she hasn't looked super sharp,
Yeah. But all Rapinoe provides at this point in her career, she doesn't have any pace. Nice job.
no.
What, Sophie Smith dropping back there to help out defensively? Rapinoe ain't doing that shit. She's still a good passer. So, like, but all the game-breaking, like, pace and dynamic shit that Sophie Smith provides, that's going to be gone if you bring Rapinoe in. But the final product, which we just complained about, Sophie Smith's final product hasn't been there. Maybe Rapinoe is better in that regard. So maybe it wouldn't be the worst sub. Thank you, Julie.
Jesus.
Trinity Rodman's first mistake there. But Julie Ertz cleans it up. Yeah, if he takes Trinity Rodman off, I'm going to be very mad.
Ertz is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just so strong, reads the game so well. That's the shit she does from the defensive midfield spot. Just any sign of danger starting to form, she's there and she eats it up. That's why I like her in that defensive midfield spot. But it works the center back too, I guess. Horan just keeping possession. You can't get the ball off of her. Crystal Dunn, haven't seen a lot of her, but she plays a good ball to Morgan. All right. Keep possession. All right. Going to slow things down. And Juilliard's very good distributing the ball too. Very good passer.
Is there an outlet nearby? For like plugs.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Oh, dude, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. I thought like a passing outlet. Uh, God, she's wide open. Yeah, just terrible.
terrible first touch.
Yep.
Look at that. I'm getting the lingo. Perfect.
I haven't plugged it in yet.
Oh, almost perfect. The MacBook charger,
It's fucking
incredibly inconvenient. Incredibly inconvenient.
dude. Yeah, I can't even. Shit. How
This
much
would-
battery do you have left? Like,
We'll be good.
imperative?
About 31%.
Yeah.
So we have time.
Okay.
I don't know why they make them like this, though.
Yeah, like fucking trying to power a spaceship. I can go get a drop cord if you think it's necessary.
At some point, I think it will die.
Okay.
That's okay. It's just part of the learning process.
Yep. So things have definitely slowed down a little bit the second half.
Trying to conserve power, much like a MacBook laptop. Yeah. Why would you make a charger like this, you
I
think?
don't know. Like that's. All right, Sweden's first bit of possession in a while, I feel like. Sophie Smith working hard defensively.
You like to see that too, where, okay, it's not clicking really offensively for her, but she's still giving great effort on the other end.
Naomi Gurma, of course, just eating everything up. She's so good. Here's our first sub. Where are you going to play? Fuck. Okay. Well, shit. Of course. Of course, that's what he does. Okay. Okay, well, that's fine then. So the announcers have told us that Rodman had some kind of illness, so it's a conditioning type thing is why she's coming out. Lynn Williams has been really good. She was one of the people that other wing spot across from Sophie Smith when Mal Pugh got hurt, Mal Swanson. We wondered if it was going to be Trinity or Lynn Williams who played it, so we're getting both of them tonight. So
Real Rodman doesn't look like she's enjoying herself
No,
on the
she
bench. Like
doesn't.
she
She
looks like
doesn't
she don't feel great.
yeah, that sucks. She didn't get a goal because she definitely played well enough to. This is an excellent performance from her.
You certainly didn't know anything was wrong.
No, hell no. I wonder if she like, cause you know, like I don't really follow like the club teams and stuff, so I'm not like, I don't know the ins and outs of everything, but I follow the national team very closely. And you know, you're more of like a casual fan and all that. But we know Trinity Rodman very well, right?
Yep.
Just, you know, for who her dad is and all that. I feel like hipsterish isn't the right word, but like I feel like some people I've talked to that follow NWSL don't love Trinity. Like, not that they dislike her in any way, but it's more like you only know her because her dad. Like, she's really not the best player. You know, she's just her name. But she looks good to me, dude.
Yeah, if she's not the best.
Ooh, good. Okay, good catch by Nair. I was very nervous right there. That's the way Sweden's going to score. Look at Lynn Williams, that fresh legs. So that's always when those subs come on. You know, everybody else is tired. Everybody else has been playing for an hour, and she's fresh. You want me to go get the drop cord?
Sure. I will tell them not to do anything exciting. But yeah, Rodman is incredible to my untrained eye. And we obviously know who her dad is, but I don't think he was super involved from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And her playing style could not be further from her dad's playing style.
Yeah.
Like, just so creative offensively, and that's just playing basketball. Her dad was just there to rebound. Like, I've never seen a basketball player care less about scoring.
Yeah. More versus sack problems here.
Yep.
Lindsey Horan gets hit on both hips, gets kicked in one hip, falls hard on the other. That's another. Rodman they talked about her hip early in the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, if she's sick and had the hip stuff and still played that well, like that's awesome. All right, drop cord.
Trying to help out Haran. She slowly gets back up, but she's a bad motherfucker. Man. Brett is already back with the cord. Impressive pace by him. Getting it plugged in as we speak. And play has just started again in the game, and he's really missed none of it. Incredible performance. You'd have to imagine the iced coffee played a role in this. He is unspooling, and plugging in, and we're good to go.
Awesome. Good stuff.
You missed nothing.
Nice.
This is great. We put the ball back in play. Sophie Smith fouled Sweden, and now we're on a Sweden free kick, which is scary.
Yeah, very scary. This is where the goal is going to come from if they get one, it seems. All right, dealt with it well. Yeah, Sweden's just playing very direct. Foul. Call the foul. Shit. That would have been nice to get that foul just to stop this run of possession here, because they look like they're growing into the game a little bit, does Sweden. Nice, Crystal. There we go. All right. Sophie Smith. Morgan has dropped way back to receive the ball. I like it. All right, Haran. Out wide to Lynn Williams. Lynn Williams one-on-one. Fresh legs.
Oh my
Can she beat her?
gosh.
Hell yes. Fresh legs. Great cross.
Nobody there.
All right, good stuff.
That looked very lonely for the Swedish defender.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got fucking toasted, and I love it. What the hell?
This is Rapino.
All right, Lynn Williams one-on-one again. Plays it. Oh, it's a clever little pass there. All right. Well,
Williams has really picked up where
Yeah.
Trinity left off.
yep. Maybe that left back for Sweden's just very bad.
Good.
Smith is she's been interesting. She's been kind of everywhere. Slips again. She has not stayed in her. Maybe Morgan's kind of moved out wide, and Sophie Smith. So I think Sophie Smith plays centrally for her club team. So maybe they've kind of swapped positions. Julie Ertz cleaning things up. Good stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. 10 shots for the U.S., 2 for Sweden. Yeah, that was just unnecessary.
The soccer players have a unique brand of, like, their incredulous face is very good.
Yeah. That's a bad turnover. But everything's fine. So Sweden's definitely had more possession as of late, but we've still not really gotten threatened too much. Sophie Smith tries the little clever turn there. Yeah, I really don't want this to go to extra time. We've played well enough to have won in regular time. Oh, Crystal should not have went down there, but everything's fine. Yeah, Sweden's starting to look a little more dangerous here. And we're starting to look a little less dangerous, but I still feel like we're the better team. But, you know, the longer this goes, it's like baseball where you keep getting men on base and then you never actually get anybody in, you know. That's kind of what this feels like. We've missed. You feel good with like how good we've played, but you know, where it matters on the scoreboard, nothing has happened. So.
Yep.
Lynn Williams.
Oh my gosh.
The fresh legs. Good ball from Alex Morgan. That was very nice from Morgan. Just a terrible shot. But whereas in the first half there was a lot of we would make some kind of offensive move and then retain possession to keep the pressure on them. That's not happening as of late.
No, one and done.
Yep.
Sweden has all 5 of their subs left, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to do something to help against Williams.
Yeah, that might be the first sub that gets made, yeah. Sweden is very, very deep. I know they, obviously won their group. Looked very good throughout the group stage. They won every game, right? Or they draw one game, whatever. They won their group. And I know between either games 1 and 2 or games 2 and 3, they made like 8 changes from their starting lineup. So they're just an extremely deep team. So they'll probably, I imagine they'll use all 5 subs, and they'll probably be impactful.
Do you think that that could have played into their strategy up to this point, where maybe they're playing for that to run down the U.S. women?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, the game has dictated that too, because we've been so much better. They've had no choice but to kind of hang on for dear life. But they play that way anyway. Like, like I said at the start of the game, they're very solid defensively, first and foremost. So, yeah, I mean, we've looked better, but, Sweden probably feels like the game is maybe went according to plan somewhat, like you're saying.
They are looking at binders on the sideline. Do you think Vlatko has a binder?
He's got one sheet of paper. That's God rest. That was very wow. Okay. Yeah, they're starting to press us a little bit, and we're going to make them pay for it here, hopefully. Lynn Williams into space. 1-on-1 again. Can she cook her ass again? Okay, well defended there, but not over yet. Okay. That's the first time the defender has gotten the better of Lynn Williams. Mike Leach. Yeah, he just had that one sheet of paper that he called plays from.
Yeah, I think he had 6 plays or something.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like okay, Smith 1-on-1. Well defended again. Yeah, like the Bruce Lee. Oh, tricky from Sophie, but well defended. Sophie wearing gloves. It's kind of cool.
Interesting, yeah.
Okay, let me get my Bruce Lee quote out finally. I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks, but the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Better to have fewer tricks and be very, very good at all of them than, have a bunch that you're not great at any of them. All right, 2 subs for Sweden.
Still the one binder, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
81st minute.
Yeah, this sucks. Like we've played great, but we're in the dying stages, and it's still tied. We're just in a war right now. It could go either way, despite how good we've looked. But that's tournament soccer. That's what it comes down to. A lot of the time.
Got some comments in the chat.
Oh, cool.
From the Wade Archives says, "Them fresh legs."
Them fresh legs.
Check out Fantastic Music. My guy Finn. And prayers to his big toe. Sustained a turf toe injury. I have not played pickup basketball with him in quite some time as a result. And I have a bad big toe myself, so I understand. That shit is terrible.
Them fresh legs, them bad toes. All right. Really don't want this to go to extra time. But that looks like where it's headed.
This is one of those sports, along with baseball, where it just doesn't matter how well you play.
Yeah.
It like if you get unlucky or the other team has the big moment, it's just no one gives a shit. It's over with. Goodbye.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great point, and yeah, I've always thought that like baseball, soccer, and poker, like you can do everything right, and it just doesn't necessarily play out. Like basketball is the most pure sport in that like the best team's gonna win because like there's just you're scoring all the like every possession like is an opportunity to be better. So like when you score 50 buckets a game, like the variance is that's more opportunities to prove that you're better than the other team. Like,
Yeah.
You're like even if you dominate a team in soccer, you beat them like 3-0. Like it's still Haran's still playing outstanding.
What if soccer results and baseball results were based on both the final score and a judge's decision?
Huh. That's a few crosses we haven't really had anybody back post. Good ball from Gurma. Little diagonal ball doesn't work. What is my wife doing? Oh, her TV's ahead of. Okay.
That explains a lot. I thought she was doing
I did
calisthenics.
too. Oh my God! What a ball from Haran. And Morgan just took too many touches, dude. Just hit it. Damn. Oh, she was off anyway. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, she's way off. What is she doing? So, as much as I love Morgan, she has been very anonymous the last like half hour. So that might be a sub you could make. What? Yeah. If we go to extra time, oh shit. First real save Nayers had to make. It was right at her, thank God. Yeah, this game's evened out. Like it feels like it's been even the last 10 minutes. Oof. If she gets that ball to the side at all, that's a goal. Yeah, I mean, you might be onto something. Sweden might have just been planning to win it late because it feels like they're the more dangerous team right now, honestly.
Because if they score earlier, I feel like you don't want the U.S. women playing more aggressively
Yeah.
on offense. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I feel like obviously you want to score to be ahead, but I think that could turn out worse in a way if it changes the US's tactics that would put them at an even greater disadvantage. As we've seen, Sweden's defense doesn't look fantastic. So if they were to switch up in some way as a result of being panicked and down, I don't think it'd be anything that Flatko would do. And at this point, I'm just starting to ramble, but I'm going to keep doing it anyways.
I think Sweden, just their main concern at the very beginning of the game, they looked like the better team for like the first 5 or 10 minutes maybe. But I think once we showed that we were here to play today, their main goal was just let's don't give up a goal. Like they didn't really care about scoring. They were just going to try to keep it 0-0. And now that it's late and our momentum's gone and we've slowed down a lot, now they're going to try to win the game. If this goes to extra times, we will do mimosas.
We're gonna need them.
I was gonna have coffee ready at the start of the game. Mimosas done at halftime. But we're just pushing everything back. Like the cornbread I was gonna make.
And like the Swedish women have done.
Yep. Here's the corner. Like shit at this point now, I would take extra time. You know,
Yeah.
they feel more likely to score now. I feel very scared right now. Nair just comes out all the time, dude, and like, oof.
Have you gone to school with any goalies who leave the box a lot?
PD would have been eliminated by a red card.
Check out Morris Island Charters at morrisislandcharter.com if you are in the Low Country area. And hear the tales of Landrum Cardinal soccer great Petey Anabinit. He will be your captain. He'll tell you about Dolphins and leaving the box.
Damn. We're getting spoilers in here.
Yeah.
Great ball from Lynn. Oh my God! Yeah, the Sweden keeper makes her second outstanding save of the game. Great ball from Lynn Williams, right on Alex Morgan's head, who did great. Here's Sophie Smith. Again, just final product not there for Sophie Smith today. Lynn Williams, another ball in. All right, Morgan growing back into the game after I said she needed to be subbed off. She's got 2 headers on goal.
Way to motivate her.
Yeah. She hit that one good. That's just a good save. That's tough. Yeah, PD told me one time he was playing like in a local soccer league in Charleston, and he got a red card and fined $50. That's so funny. It's like a local men's sports league fining people. They fine like $50. Like, that's so funny.
That is great. I gotta have like a press conference about it.
Yeah.
For this rec league.
2 minutes of stoppage time. Huh.
Then there's no way. The Haran injury and all the subs.
Yeah, and they've started. Okay, Morgan takes it down. All right, 1-on-1, Alex Morgan. Offside again. Is she off? Huh. Well, we look destined for extra time here. We've definitely, on the whole, played well enough to have won the game in regulation, but it just didn't happen. Lynn Williams in space again. Another good ball. Well dealt with by Sweden. Damn. Yeah. The ref is calling nothing, says the color commentator whose voice I recognize but have not yet thought of her name.
Man,
One last. Yeah, we'll get this throw in. Oh, come on. All right.
We will not get the throw in. But it is mimosa time, or more traditionally referred to as extra time in soccer. I forgot they get a break too. They should just make them just continue playing. Mimosa's coming up. See if anything else interesting is going on. I do have to talk about, in baseball, we had a fight yesterday between Tim Anderson of the White Sox and Jose Ramirez of the Guardians. And Jose Ramirez knocked Tim Anderson out. And you kind of knew it was coming because Tim Anderson, as the fight was starting, it started because Tim Anderson put a tag on Ramirez at second. Ramirez took exception, and Tim Anderson threw his glove off and stood in proper southpaw boxing stance, except you would only fight that way if you were left-handed, and I believe Anderson's right-handed. But anyone who is not fighting in a sanctioned boxing match but is standing in proper boxing form, well, to the untrained eye, I already know they're about to lose. Because what you're doing typically is you're looking at something that you've seen on TV and trying to mimic it, and fighting is not like that at all. Especially if there's no rules, as there are in a random base brawl. You just gotta choose the stance that's gonna not get you knocked out on national television. So as soon as he took that stance, it was basically over. Ramirez did get a lucky punch in because it didn't even look like he was looking, because it looked like another White Sox player was grabbing him from behind to where he would not have been able to see, and he was just swinging wildly. But that's really all it takes. He caught him right on the chin, and that was it for Anderson. And that's hilarious. So if you're going to start a fight, particularly on national television, or where there are high-definition cameras looking at you, you can't let that happen. So I like Tim Anderson. I like Jose Ramirez. But damn. Honestly. Damn. All right, so they're just showing some highlights here from the second half. Really kind of stinks that soccer's like this, where you can play great for the majority of the game, just doesn't matter. But that's also what makes the sport beautiful, they tell me. 13-6 shot advantage for the U.S. 6 of those have been on target. Has not mattered. Swedish goalkeeper has been very good. I do like the kits for us better than Sweden's uniform. So hopefully that somehow has something to do with anything. Oh. Brett's still making mimosas. So 30 minutes left. U.S. still has 4 subs remaining, I believe. You definitely don't want to go to penalty kicks with the way this goalkeeper for Sweden has looked. Things are underway. Again, check out Fantastic. His music's great. Also, Catch the Beat Apparel. Catch da beatapparel.com. Great clothes for a great cause. And as always, as I said before, Morris Island Charters. If you're looking for a fancy boat tour, sunset boat tour, check out the Morris Island Lighthouse. It is the best one I've ever been on in my entire life. Brett is going to make his wife a mimosa as well, making up for the iced coffee mistake from earlier. Very smart adjustment on his part. Sun's starting to come up here in Atlanta, Georgia. Later today, we'll be going to the Dream Fever game. Excited about that. Hoping to meet Don Staley. That's why I've got my Gamecock shirt on. Although I will change clothes, because that's hours from now. I will probably take a nap as well. Whew. And we are back with the mimosas and freshly pooped. The mimosas were not, but Brett did poop. Understandable. I was explaining that you seem to have made the adjustment. Into the box. Jesus. Good God. Made the adjustment for the iced coffee blunder and made your wife a mimosa.
Yeah. I brought her a beer glass to pour it in, though, because I wanted us to have the champagne glasses, and she didn't like that.
She didn't like that. Look, beggars can't be choosers.
Nair just coming out, swinging at air again. God, dude.
I feel like if you're going to play keeper like this, then you better be a damn good boat tour captain. During the break, I was breaking down the Tim Anderson Jose Ramirez fight.
Oh, very nice. That's the best sports fight beyond baseball. It's probably the best sports fight aside from the sports where you fight.
That's what. So when I was looking at the video again, what I was saying was that when Anderson got in a boxing stance,
yeah,
I kind of knew it was over.
Oh, really?
Because I believe he's right-handed and he stood southpaw.
Oh, shit. That's right.
So he looked like someone who had seen something on TV and was trying to replicate it versus someone who'd actually fought someone before.
He had me fooled. I thought he was ready to kick some ass.
And it was a lucky punch, but that's another thing I said. Doesn't matter how well you play or how impressive your stance looks. If your opponent gets lucky, like in a soccer match, could be all over for you. You could be helped back to the dugout.
Yeah, Ramirez withstood the opening salvo there. Anderson got some good punches in, but didn't land the finishing blow, and then Ramirez nailed him, which is what is going to happen to us. I'm very confident.
In the knockout stage.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Jesus.
How do you feel about our performance today?
Mine and you or the U.S.?
Just us.
I don't know. I think Morgan kind of in behind. Ow! Man, from nothing. That's a tough angle, and she got a great shot off. And again, the keeper makes a good save.
That was another, as I was trying to play a soccer analyst like Tim Anderson was trying to play a boxer, I was saying, I don't think you want to go to PKs against this keeper.
No. I'm trying not to look in the living room because my wife is letting us know everything in advance.
And we could see if it goes to PKs the first time ever a keeper charges to midfield to try to make a stop.
Yeah.
Some cramping going on for Sweden. They don't do electrolytes like we do here in the good old US of A, I guess.
I'm about to put a blanket up, over that.
Yeah.
That's distracting.
The delay is on the projector screen out here. It's causing some issues for our famed soccer analyst. I really, when it comes to cramps, I think once that happens, you've got to, okay, and a substitution is taking place. I don't think there's anything you can do once cramps start. I think you're just done.
Does that do any good?
Yeah, I can't see anything. I can't see the TV at least. And I can't interpret your wife's movements to see whether it's a good movement or a bad movement. Corner kick coming for the U.S. here. My broadcaster voice is on in full effect, and I'm trying to turn it off.
All right. Our 7th corner, or 6th. Not that good. That might have been by design, though. All right, here comes Rapinoe. Smith with a turn.
Okay. But no, our performance.
Yeah, I think it's been good.
I agree.
We've covered some different topics in the downtime. I think at this point we're just focused on the game now. No more distractions. Rapinoe getting her some nice water, despite having not played and it being 52 degrees.
She's not going to cramp.
Haran continues to win headers. Lynn Williams continues to be fast. So who's Pino going to come on for? Sophie Smith, I guess? No, it's Morgan. Okay, so Sophie Smith's going to go in centrally. Yep. So, like we talked about, Pino, her best days are certainly behind her, but she still is a pretty good passer of the ball. And Sophie Smith's going to be in centrally. She could find Sophie Smith for an assist at some point.
Second most assists all time in the Women's World Cup for the U.S. to Mia Hamm.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, she broke onto the nice interception by Sullivan. If we play quick, we can get a counter here. Lynn Williams switch a play. Pino actually trying to run in behind with her fresh but old legs. Sonnet just kind of lost up there. We're not getting a lot of offense out of our midfielders besides Lindsey Horan. That's where, if Lavelle's in there, Pino, Jesus Christ on the cross.
Oh God.
Jesus.
And that's kind of how she looked against Vietnam too.
Yeah, she's been like whiffing on shots, like missing the ball entirely and shit. She fucking almost handballed that one and still didn't control it. God. But yeah, that World Cup where it's when I've really, become a big fan of it. When we lost in the finals to Japan in that'd have been 11. Yeah, 11. Beat Brazil in the semifinals and then lost to Japan on penalties in the final. But that was Rapinoe crossing it into Abby Wambach a lot. And that was a lot of fun. Nice turnover. Sophie Smith creating the turnover, and she's in a little bit of space. Great ball out wide to Williams. Just hit it. Just hit it. Turn around, Lindsay.
Go! Damn.
All right. Good stuff.
Man, Sophie Smith activity level, even
Yeah.
despite the struggles, has been incredible.
Yeah.
And her first pass that was like on target and led
Yep.
her teammate.
Rapinoe almost scored on the rebound there. Great shot from Lynn Williams. Just another great save.
So that Rapinoe move, right? I don't want to keep harping on this. Oh, a corner. We'll talk about it later.
What was that? Was that
Sounds
a
like one of
baby?
your kids, yeah. Was that a baby? Damn.
I don't know if that's by design. That's 2 in a row we've taken like that. That front post. You're never going to score directly off of that, but the idea is you'd flick it back behind you and create havoc. Let's play one far post here. Fucking Jesus, dude. That's terrible. The last World Cup, she won one of the awards, I think, right? Like, best player of the tournament or whatever, Golden Boot. But even last tournament, she really wasn't that great. It was just she happened to score all the goals. I mean, it sounds weird, but she just scored off free kicks or penalties. But she, in open play, she didn't really do a whole lot. And now it's 4 years later even, so she's not providing a ton out there.
She made a move on the Sophie Smith pass, the shot that was saved.
Yeah.
She made a move where the ball changed directions on her, and she tried to change directions and just kind of
Down.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that movement very well.
Yeah.
That's I've been doing this too long, and my body no longer wants to really cooperate. Wow.
Oh my God! I mean,
It's all I can
dude.
see. She ran out so far.
she doesn't have to do that every fucking time, dude. Damn. I mean, she got a hand to it, and that's what you got to do. But Jesus,
If you don't,
I don't feel like there's any need to do that. Ooh, Lynn Williams almost was off to the races there. Horrible touch from Rapinoe.
she just has not looked great.
No. There is no way she's. How many people they bring? 25, whatever. Like, there's no way she's among the 25 best U.S. players. 26.
How much of that has to do with how much she wants to be great?
How old is she now?
It's a great question. I mentioned that we are going to the WNBA game later, and her partner, Sue Bird, WNBA great, retired.
Yeah.
.38.
Yeah. That's pretty damn old for a soccer player.
And honestly, like we're talking about, a great career. We're not disputing that, but Father Time, undefeated.
Yep. This is. I talked about playing out of the back earlier. We are committed to it now, and oh, good. Yeah, Sophie Smith just so much energy, has not tired a bit.
Great motor, as they
Yeah,
say.
motor. That's the word.
That's really impressed me. I always like it when you tell people aren't, especially stars, aren't on their game, but they still
Yeah.
find a way to make an impact.
Yeah. And we're in stoppage time of the first overtime period. Still no goal. But this has been a very entertaining game.
Yeah,
You
a
know,
lot of action.
Yeah. Don't let the 0-0 fool you. Sweden's keeper has made, 4 great saves, at least.
1 minute of stoppage in the first part of extra time,
Blow it. Good.
and we're there. So much like our friend Petey, the only year I played soccer, I was a goalkeeper as well.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I have a very interesting story about this. I was 12. Part of the reason that I was a goalkeeper is because I was a husky 12-year-old
Yeah.
due to a combination of anti-anxiety medications and puberty not going my way. And also because I had good coordination and reflexes, and I could clear the ball further than anyone else on the team.
Yeah.
Now, if you've listened to anything I do, and if you know me, you know my favorite thing about sports is scoring.
Yeah.
So playing goalkeeper, not a great match for my personality. I hurt my wrist, and I didn't hurt it that bad, but I hurt it enough to where I was like, this is my chance. Showed up to the game wearing like a wrap on my wrist, was like, I can't play goal.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we'll play you, we'll put you at forward.
Nice.
And I'm like, all right, we're going to make the best of this. Score a goal.
Nice.
In my excitement, after the game, go to greet my family, who would stay in the car and watch because the mosquitoes were so bad.
Yeah.
My grandmother, who we call Mimi, had not come to the game because I was not going to play goalkeeper. So she thought that I wasn't going to play at all because of the wrist injury. She was not there. My mom had fallen asleep in the car. No one saw me score my only goal ever. In the following game, I went back to goalkeeper, and that was it.
So how do we know it really happened? We're just going to take your word for it.
Exactly, yeah. I made it all up.
All right.
Now it is lemon booty time.
Yep. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you can't feel good about penalties, like you said. That keeper's just fucking hot.
She looks like me with a good wrist.
Hotter than a pot of rice. Pino kicking it into the opponent's feet.
So is that what you're supposed to do?
She is trying to make runs in behind.
But again, I'm noticing all the things because I do them myself. Like the trying to change direction takes a lot of choppy steps to do it, as opposed to just boom and cut.
Yeah. Damn.
Would that be one of the one kick practice of 10,000 times?
I like Lynn Williams one-on-one.
Oh,
Good ball.
woo! Damn.
Oh, man. Sophie Smith looks better at striker.
Got a corner coming for the U.S. Great eyebrows on Sweden's keeper. I'm a big eyebrow person. Just you can tell looking at my own face. Rapinoe taking the corner.
All right, from this side, can she do any better? Nope. Again, that might be by design, though. Just missed it.
So, tactically, outside the fact that Rodman had whatever issue she's dealing with illness-wise, why wouldn't you play Williams and Rodman together at the same time?
I was just thinking maybe Alex Morgan did play well, but I wonder if maybe the best front three isn't Trinity and Lynn Williams at the wings and Sophie Smith centrally. I mean, Alex Morgan and Sophie Smith are like seemingly your nailed-on starters. So then that only leaves one spot at the other wing. So I mean that's the answer to the question. But yeah, like I don't know. As good as Trinity looked, it's hard to sit her. Maybe Lynn Williams might be looking this good because, like we've said, she has the fresh legs. I couldn't bench Alex Morgan. I think you start the exact same way we did today, and then bring on Lynn Williams at some point with the fresh legs.
109th minute.
All right, let's get a counter here. Gurma to Rapinoe. All right, this is okay. This is okay. Good ball.
Ooh.
Good ball. That spot right there is where Rapinoe, if she's going to do damage, it's like that, like picking up the ball and making a big pass. Like she's not going to beat anybody for pace. It doesn't appear she's going to do anything in the box. But like that moment right there, picking it up in the midfield with some.
I don't know if that was anything.
No. All right. I mean, we've got to go for it here. I mean, we've got to try to win this game now. Nah, there's nothing there. I don't know what that was.
Did you see me go to say something and I was just like, I don't even know how to describe that.
Great ball. Okay, Pino's got it in space again. Done in the box. Sophie.
That ain't it.
We're starting to look a little more dangerous, though. Both right-footed players there had it fall to their left foot.
It's unfortunate.
Nice, Lindsay.
11 shots on goal to 1.
That is crazy. Damn, that's sick, man. 20 shots, 11 on goal. That is, damn. So that's interesting. Like, you know, if we go out here, obviously it's a huge disappointment. This, you know, Vlatko will hopefully be fired. It'll, you know, big story about how disappointing the team was. But this game, we've looked fantastic.
Probably the best one.
Yeah. Like the group stage, but this is what you get when you don't win your group. You got to play Sweden right away. So, you know, the bad performance in the group will still be the storyline. But like it should be remembered, we did play excellent in this game.
And we will forget it.
As Vlatko is interviewing for his next job, he can point back to we actually did play well. Jeez.
Jesus. Oh, okay. Vlatko stood up and sat down. That's the biggest adjustment he's made all tournament.
Hey, good work, Pino.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, getting the foul. Good job.
Boom.
All right.
Representing for the millennials.
More mimosa yet?
Yes, please.
Oh, fuck my butt.
All right, headed towards the 114th minute, 6 to go before penalties, which is terrifying. You can. I'm predicting a stoppage here soon, at which you can fix your blanket.
Los Monteros Cava, only the best $9 Cavas.
Yes, if you're gonna pick a $9 mimosa base,
That's a lot. I'll give you a splash on it.
this is the recipe right here. As you can see, 9 parts champagne, 1 part orange juice. I've noticed the Swedish fans not great at clapping in sync. Thank you. Oh, all right, here we go. Did you want to fix your blanket? I didn't know if you wanted to. Winner faces Japan in the quarterfinal. Rapinoe.
Rapino. Rapino. Yeah, the few good things that she's done this tournament, and they have been very, very, very few. It has been in positions like that, like she'll drift in centrally and make a pass in behind or something. She's not really doing much classic winger stuff at this point. That's oof. Before that ball even got to anybody, like we just looked out of sorts.
Whew.
Like Dunn didn't know where to be. Gurma didn't know. That was tough. Good job, Alyssa.
She's got very alert eyes. Like, they appear to be alert. As though she had an iced coffee or two this morning as well.
When I was in Lyon for the World Cup last time, I walked by her on the street. I listened there, just happened to walk by her on the sidewalk.
How were her eyes?
I didn't say anything to her. I don't. You know who else I walked by? With Zach Ertz. Big. He was a big fucker. Okay, got some space for Lynn Williams again. Damn.
New.
Lynn Williams puts in some vicious crosses, man. Thank you.
Foul. Good. All right. 117th minute. Kind of shocked we haven't seen more subs, but that's kind of that's it. It's what Vlatko's known for.
I guess what you can do at this point, this is what I would do on FIFA anyway. use all your subs right at the very end. Who are your best penalty takers? Just get all your best penalty takers on the field, like in the 119th minute.
Now, do you think he'll actually do that?
I don't know. I'm not convinced yet that he knows he has 5 subs. He might still think he has a 3 only. I also don't know who our best penalty takers are. Morgan would have been one of them. Just nothing. Just not a good ball.
I tell you what, if we lose, Rapinoe is going to get trashed
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
People have been waiting for her to
I
do this,
know.
which is ridiculous because I align with her social views. Many who will slam her do not. But you can, as we've been doing, critique her play perfectly fine without all that.
Yep. All right. Getting near the end here. We still look like the better team, but still don't quite look like scoring.
Bullshit.
That's the first yellow I've seen all game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're letting them play. Oh, good Lord. I mean, it is a... That's fine. Yeah, that's a yellow. Okay. This is going to be dangerous. Well dealt with.
Wow. Sophie Smith, very strong. Like, she looks small, but she's very strong.
Yeah.
Won the ball. Here we go.
Okay, here's our hopefully best penalty takers. Kelly O'Hara and Kristen Mewis. Yeah, you might not get them. They're not letting them come on right now. Hey,
There we go.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just about to ask, like, would you just play it out to get the subs in? And me,
Yeah.
I am now qualified. Just at least as qualified. I'm not qualified, but I'm at least as qualified as Vlatko.
All right, so the grizzled veteran, Kelly O'Hara, and I think older sister of Sam Mewis, who was a great player at last World Cup.
1 minute.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, we're going to penalties in all likelihood.
This is the stoppage time in this tournament has been ridiculous.
So the men's World Cup last year, they started doing these just absurd, like 10, 12-minute stoppage times. And then a few games this tournament, they've done that too. But then this game, they've given, like, no stoppage time.
Oh, Lord. All right, yeah, this is...
So the penalty takers are going to be cold. Like, they're going to have not... Oh, that mimosa cup.
Oh, well, rest in peace to Brett. Oh, he's back.
Damn. I guess when you do all champagne. All right. I've got it.
All right, a nervous pee about to get out the way. This is terrible. I don't like this. Oh, Jesus. Headed to penalties. Fuck. I do like these glasses, though. Going to try not to knock them all down. buddy. Well, here we are, waiting for PKs. Just as we had hoped not to be doing. But what can you do?
Yep. We deserve better. We played very well. You got to give them credit. They look like dog shit, all Olympics, all group stage, but they come out and played fantastic today. But unfortunately, we're still going to penalties.
Google Pixel commercial for Rapinoe again.
If she doesn't score her fucking penalty,
Oh my gosh.
I will turn into a damn Republican on here so fucking quick.
What do you think right now? What is Carly Lloyd pulling for?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, she's pulling for us to win, but Pino probably to bang hers off the crossbar or something. I would love to have had Carly Lloyd in this game though. Like she would have forced one in somehow.
Imagine if she misses far left too.
Do we know Carly Lloyd's politics?
No, the only hint we have is that she refused to kneel when everyone was kneeling for the national anthem.
I don't think that tells you
That
necessarily.
doesn't tell you a ton, but people are making assumptions based off that.
I feel like you get a lot of that on Twitter, like everybody assumes her and Alexi both are like far right and shit. But we have no reason to think that, really. Yeah, that's the player of the game is the Swedish keeper for sure.
Yeah. I think that I cared less about people kneeling for the anthem when it became not so much a protest, but the popular opinion.
Yes, yeah, right. My position has always been do whatever you want to do during the anthem because that's the whole point of this country is that you get to do what you want here.
Correct. Oh. This is awful.
I know. Yeah, it's just penalties are fun as shit when you're watching as a neutral, but when you have a fucking dog in the fight, just sucks.
Because it's so random.
It is, and I knew Alexi was about to he makes that speech every fucking time. He said, this is not a coin flip, because they scout it and stuff. Like, they know what tendencies they have. What the hell? The keeper's taking the first? No, she's not doing that. She's just fucking around. That'd be cool as shit,
Yeah.
dude.
That would have been so wild. I mean, the way she's played in goal, I might want her to have even more of a hand in what's going on, or a foot.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Not who I thought would be the first.
You sound excited.
But the penalties are weird. It's like it's not necessarily like your striker who's your best penalty taker. Like a center back, a person who never scores a goal, might be your best penalty taker. It's a very specific skill set. I've always believed you just pick a side and just fucking hit it hard to that side. Like, I hate when they do that stutter step bullshit. If you're good enough to put it in the top corner, then do that. But like if you're not, just pick a side and fucking hit it hard. It's set up for the attacker. You know, it's like it's a benefit for the attacker. Good. Perfect fucking penalty.
Whew. This is damn terrible. I should have pooped with you.
Like that, you cannot hit it better than that. Aside from putting it in the top corner, you can't hit it better than that. The keeper went the right way and still was a goal. I mean, that's... Alright, here we go, baby. Volvo versus Chevy.
Damn, wasted no time.
That's also as good as you can take.
Yeah.
That's the height that you don't want to hit it, because that's right where it's easiest for the keeper to reach. But put it, when you hit the side netting like that, you know, it's going to be a goal. So 2 excellent penalties thus far. All right, Lindsay. If there's anybody, I don't trust anybody more than Lindsay to bury hers. Fuck yes. Hey,
Dodgers hoodie.
Fan. Good job, bud.
Kobe, the dog at the door, cheering us on as we cheer on the U.S.
3 excellent penalties. There's been some bad penalties taken in this tournament, too. Like, I've seen a lot of penalties get saved. But these, thus far, all penalties have been very well taken. Hope Solo would stay in the middle. You remember, like, she would, like, not even dive a lot of times. It's weird. Damn, another good take. I feel like the keepers went the right way every time.
Yeah.
There's not been a save yet.
Kind of proves your point that just pick a side and hit it hard.
I mean, yeah, like the keeper can't do anything else there.
If only Hope Solo had that much restraint when it came to driving.
All right, here's our first sub that was brought in just to take a penalty. Come on.
Boom.
Woo! That's probably the best one so far. That was upper corner. That's unsavable. Like that's good. Black coat. I did. Look what I built.
Man, the natural lighting's coming in
I know,
perfect too.
damn.
This is fantastic.
All right, Alyssa, come on, babe. Make one save. Here we go.
Yes!
All right. We just
Choke job.
just got to bury 2.
Kobe's barking in celebration as well.
Woo, that was bad. Tried to do too much.
I'm going to get Kobe.
All right. Oh, here's the moment. You shouldn't have got up. It's Pinot time, baby.
Yeah, I can't miss this one.
It is Pinot time. Jerking that microphone back out of my hand. This is my time.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh, no.
God!
Oh,
I
holy
hate her so
fucking
much.
ally. What in the allyship are you not
Damn.
doing?
Ron DeSantis 2024. Oh my God, it was so terrible. And Joe, yeah, I'll smile about it. Jesus. Hey, pup. Okay, she was a late sub as well. Wow, what a save. Okay, here, this is it. This is it. That was
Incredible.
what a save.
Got Kobe here to celebrate.
That's a good penalty take, too. But like I said,
Oh,
that height.
what a move.
That height.
Don't do it. What? Right in the middle of things. He's pulled his poop bags out in preparation for the celebration.
Sophie Smith.
Oh, here we go. This
we
is
go.
Visa, very invested in this.
All right, earn that credit card commercial. Here we go. Oh my God.
All right, MasterCard it is.
Okay, maybe they'll miss another one.
It was the Visa branding behind the goal.
Just trying to do too much. A 20-year-old with number 20 on her shirt. All right, Alyssa, one more time. God.
This is awful.
I mean, they've missed two. That should, this should be done and dusted right now. This shouldn't even be still going on. Just my personal favorite place to take a penalty. That's what I would do if I was any good. That high and to the middle. Alyssa Nair's taking the penalty. So the keeper is taking one, but it's ours. This is just fucking insane.
I believe. What a bad motherfucker. I'm coming around on her boat tours.
That's what the Sweden taker just did too. I love that. High and down the middle.
Yep.
Because like even if in the unlikely event the keeper doesn't dive, it's still like you still got a chance. So I almost saw in there. I looked. Fuck, they scored. Shit, I can't help but look. I got it quickly. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't do a good job with the blanket. That's tough.
Yeah, you're not saving that. That's just a great take. How is she the 6th penalty taker? Jesus Christ, what a take.
I'm allergic to Swedish goals.
All right, here's our other sub that was just for penalties.
Terrible. Oh my God.
It's fucking over. They fucking missed 2 out of the first 5 and we still didn't fucking... Jesus.
Do you need me to block the TV?
That's alright, I'm not looking.
This is terrible. Ah! I don't like this.
She was a late sub as well. Oh, God.
Oh!
No! No! Y'all are ahead of us, so don't say anything. Nah,
Looked like a save. No fucking way.
What? I've got the whole.
You got to show me this shit.
The whole ball has to get over. The entire ball has to cross the line. Oh, Jesus. Well, there's one person to blame, and it is Megan Rapinoe.
This is so the great fear we talked about was in the future the women becoming the men, getting knocked out the first part of the knockout stage, and here the future is now.
Yeah, they did the exact same thing as the men. Finished second in the group, got knocked out first round of the group stage or the knockout stage. Well, at least not have to get up early again.
Oh man, this is like I can only imagine the backflips Carly Lloyd is doing.
I still got to see this fucking goal.
Why haven't they replay? Like, who's producing this fucking thing? We haven't seen a replay of it at all. Oh God,
Yeah,
Rapinoe's
show me more
smiling.
images of fucking Rapinoe happy. Thank you.
Damn. How have they not shown a replay yet? Okay, here we go.
Oh my God, it was. That's insane,
That's
dude.
as close as you can make it, and a hell of an effort. She was too far ahead of it,
Yeah,
basically.
That's an incredible. No, like that's one thing that they're guaranteed to get right. 'Cause they've got that like tennis, thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is the correct decision. But unbelievable effort from the keeper. Jesus, man. We criticized her a lot, but she was great in penalties. She did her job.
Yeah, we let her down. Now, if we handled soccer the way that we handle American football and had a referee out there with a fucking index card measuring, do you think they would have counted that goal? Oh, man, gotta feel
without
for
VAR, that's not a goal.
No.
Because
live, it looked like a save.
It didn't look. I didn't even think it was close.
No. That's tough.
Well, they played great today, but this is what you get for not winning your group.
And it's like no one will ever care that they played great today.
Right. No, it'll be totally forgotten.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Instant live reaction.
Vlatko's gone. He
Got to
should
be.
have been gone after the Olympics. If that sumbitch is in the middle of the huddle, you ain't got nothing else to talk. What else does he have to talk about? He's got to know as well as I do he's done.
He probably thinks there's more coming.
Are we gonna get him next time? No. I want to see who's in the middle of the huddle talking. There's nothing.
What if it's a dance circle? Damn.
Shut up.
Oh, here we go.
Shut up. I mean, he is a player's coach. Like they like him.
And so that kind of, how much do you have to like your coach, honestly?
I mean, a lot of people are sad. Rapinoe's not sad.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, yeah, they did. Like, it'll be totally forgotten, and that's the nature of sports. But they played great today. They come out and fucking played fantastic. But if you win your group, you're not playing fucking Sweden in the first round of the knockouts. You're playing somebody a lot easier.
Not at 5 a.m.
Yeah. I know that they had the TV schedule set up. Like, Netherlands played last night at 10. Like, that'd have been so much fucking easier.
Okay,
Why
Rapinoe.
are you so happy, bro?
She is smiling, but there are tears as well.
Okay.
Like a, wow, this is it for me. I am. What a career in life. She's still alive.
Y'all two go and never come back, please.
There's got to be embarrassment, too, because she's got to know what's coming.
Yeah. Oh,
Because it was going to happen no matter what if we lost, but particularly missing a penalty kick. Not even just missing it, but sending it to the fucking moon, back to the northern hemisphere. Well, that's fucking brutal.
I mean, she was our penalty taker last World Cup.
Yeah, that's who we would. That's who we would have taking those. Thank you. So, Sweden moving on to take on Japan. That's good because I wouldn't have watched that game anyways if we did advance because it's at 2:30 in the morning on Friday. So,
Well, you can't trust Fox. You know, they just make up the time, so you watch their. It's probably. Did it say 2:30?
said 2:30.
So it probably means 4:30.
Okay. Well, cool.
They do 2 hours of pregame.
Alyssa and Eric cannot believe that went in. And I can't either, honestly. Just a hell of an effort for as much as we talked about her running out to midfield. Just incredible
And
during
took a
PKs.
penalty. Took a penalty and scored.
Crushed it. Yeah. Like,
We
man.
were. We were questioning her during the match as well.
Yeah.
Hey.
Beautiful.
Oh, sorry.
That's just a bummer. All right, we've got another special guest coming in. First World Cup ever for this guy, the Goose. The Goose is loose goose. What are your thoughts?
Smiling.
Look at you. We know who his favorite player is.
Republican ass. I told you Peanut wouldn't come. Go broke, Goose said.
Terrible. I don't really have anything to say because my feelings are hurt.
I mean, Vlatko's clearly done. There's no way. Of course, I thought this after the Olympics too.
And you don't really need a player's coach, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe we'll go beyond that shit now.
Like, you need someone who respects you as a person and is not like, oh, we got some spit up going on here. The performance.
Damn, bud.
Perfect reaction for the performance. But you need someone who treats you like a human, but I think you also need someone who will tell you how it is and get in your ass a little bit.
This is another thing that I like, the pregame dancing and all that shit. It's something that's just irrelevant because you need a coach that is good at coaching soccer.
Yes.
Whether he's friendly to you or not, like that. Like you can be a total players coach too, but the problem with Vlatko is not that he's a players coach; is that he's not a good soccer coach.
Yes.
You know, that's like
that's true.
I don't really care about like how much the players like him or don't like him and shit. That's irrelevant. And like the players dancing before the game, if they're winning, dance all you want. Like that. That's just something that's a distraction.
Because that was the thing I was doing. Spoiler alert, but
I can't believe that's not a save.
episode tomorrow is about college football realignment. So subscribe, rate, review, and check that out. But I talk a little bit about University of Miami football, and they were kicking everyone's ass and dancing the whole time they were doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And people were mad about that too, but not because they weren't focused, just because they were hurting people's feelings. Goose, thoughts?
Camera's that way, bud.
Yeah, he's not aware yet. Like he's our intern, so he's still learning. But you're right. That does not matter one way or the other. I do not think they lost because they danced before or after games.
Yes, and Vlatko is not a moron because he's a player's coach. He's a moron because he's a moron.
Beautiful. Yeah, and that's not how it's going to be spun, I would imagine. But that's the truth.
What a commercial. This is the first Alex Morgan commercial I've seen.
Yeah.
And maybe the last. Google Pixel.
Oh no!
Now her commercials are long fucking gone. You
Blurry memories.
just play. Sophie Smith's probably got a long career of Visa commercials ahead of her, but
To be fair to Rapinoe, the commercial says fitness goals, not PKs.
yeah. She was the fucking penalty taker at our last World Cup, and then just fucking miss one when that's so pathetic.
Wasn't even close.
No. That's it just seemed like it was coming too.
Yeah. You could kind of feel, especially with how she looked on the field.
Yeah.
Man, that stinks. Well, shit. Well, you want to wrap it up? Or you have any extra thoughts?
Nah, I mean, prayers to Fox because all their ratings have just went to fucking shit.
Yes, it couldn't happen to a better company.
FIFA even set it up to where they were gonna they're on the other side of the world, and somehow still we were gonna get all like decent time games if we won our group, and we didn't do that, and we didn't even make it out of the fucking first round of knockouts. So
Beautiful.
yeah, that's just very disappointing.
Yes. So, this has been a Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silver's live stream watch along with Brett and the Goose. Episode drops tomorrow morning. As always, college football preview will be coming back. Will be dropping soon as well. And Brett's bets will be coming back too. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, rating, reviewing, and sharing. And we will see you much sooner than you'll see the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team.